Kyle Manzardo, a 21-year-old that plays for the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, I want to take a back seat to this one because you, my friend, are a huge fan, right?
Yeah, I'm a big supporter of Kyle Manzardo.
So take it away. Like, give it all to us, Ross. You're a huge Manzardo fan.
I think I wrote him up in my first article with the Dynasty Guru this year, Kyle Manzardo. And he was injured. He got injured early on in the season. He flashed some good stuff, and then he got injured with like a thumb injury, and he was gone for a few weeks. And it was a real bummer because I was like, the small sample looks interesting. I'm excited to see what this guy can do. And then he came back and he just mashed, and he mashed all season long. I loved it. Kyle Manzardo. And Scout the Statline loves him too. It sees him as an offensive force. And I don't even want to say that lightly, because this is a guy that, for those that are listening right now, most leagues are not probably super keen on this guy. He's not showing up on a lot of the bigger name, mainstream top 100 types of lists. MLB.com, they don't have Kyle Manzardo in there. I don't believe that Baseball America does either. Now, granted, those sites consider defense as well, and it sounds like he's very defensively limited, but the bat appears to be one of the best in the minor leagues. And I think it's fairly indisputable at this point. He's almost got 500 plate appearances in his minor league career, and he's a career 330 hitter. He was a great hitter in college as well. I mean, there's just no weaknesses in this guy's offensive profile. So let me go through it. This year, aggregate on the season, he hit 327 with a 426 OBP and a 617 slugging percentage. That was across high A and double A as a 21-year-old. His age is still relatively young for where he's at. And he was incredibly consistent between those two levels too. So he hit 329 in high A, he hit 323 in double A. He had a 436 OBP, very high, and a 402 OBP at double A. It was a little bit lower. And then at high A, it was a 636 slugging percentage, double A, 576. Just, he had a great season. And he's showing no signs of slowing down, playing at multiple levels. So I'm a big fan of this guy. He grades out with some of the best overall hitting skills in the minor leagues. The scout grade equivalency for Kyle Manzardo is 70 with the hit tool and 60 with power. So well above average hit and pretty good power too. And
what's the comp sitting at?
The comp for Kyle Manzardo is Carlos Quentin. Looking back on his career, he did have a 36 home run season. I hardly remember that too. That was early on in his career. Was a two-time All-Star. He had a better career than I remember, apparently, but was a career 252 hitter with a 484 slugging percentage. So what Manzardo grades out to with his Scout the Statline peak projections, again, these are average peak numbers. They project him for a 278 batting average with a 378 OBP and a 496 slugging percentage, 24 home runs, and almost walking as much as he strikes out. So now I've highlighted all the things that I love about Kyle Manzardo. I think he could be one of the better hitters. The ceiling for Kyle Manzardo offensively is one of the better hitters in the major leagues, in my opinion. And when I say that, I mean top 20. I think he'd be consistently a top 20 hitter in the major leagues. The red flag here, he plays for the Tampa Bay Rays, and he's defensively limited, which is a problem.
Yep.
This is the same organization that had Nate Lowe, and they traded him. And Nate Lowe was a good offensive player in the minor leagues, and he had a great season this year. So there is some risk that they don't They just don't like that kind of player. They like guys that they can move around. And then on the flip side, they got a guy like Wander Franco who they brought in, and he's played just shortstop. And, they know he's got an all-star level ceiling, more than that. He's got an MVP level ceiling, and they've put him where they think he deserves to go, and they're just letting him do his thing. So there's the two sides to it. Manzardo is not the Wander Franco caliber prospect, but his offensive upside is maybe a touch below Franco's. So it's not far off. Is it enough for them to overcome the defensive limitations that he potentially poses and let him play the position that he should be at, which is first base?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
What do you think about Kyle Manzardo?
Well, I think you pretty much hit everything on the head. 22-year-old sitting in Double-A, going to be a big year for him coming up in 2023. Probably going to see a lot of Double-A and Triple-A with potentially a cup of coffee, depending on how he does and stuff. But sky's the limit. Everything's right there. I think he's going to be really, really good. There's nothing that tells me that his bat won't play no matter where he goes. The bat's there. My recommendation for Kyle Manzardo, go get him as fast as you possibly can. He's going to be in the majors before his ranking skyrockets.
Yeah, he's got the highest projected peak WRC plus, weighted runs created plus in the minor leagues. That means offensively speaking, his bat is the best in the minor leagues according to the numbers.
No.
And this guy is terribly underranked by most people still. So yeah, I agree 100%. Go get this guy. This is a different case than the Corbin Carrolls or the Gunnar Hendersons, where they're at the top and they deserve it. They deserve to be in those spots. This guy deserves to be in that conversation with those guys, and he's not.
Yeah.
So there's a gulf. There's a gulf in the value, the perceived value versus what I think is the actual value. And that's where you generate value as a fantasy owner, right in that area, or as a card collector, or as, somebody that just wants to sound smart in front of your friends. Be like, hey, check out Kyle Manzardo. They'll be like, I never heard of that guy. Oh, wait, well, 5 years down the road, this guy's a consistent all-star because he's mashing the ball, because he's showing us right now that he's got the capabilities to do it, but people are still ignoring it. So yeah, Kyle Manzardo, go get him.
Agreed.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and of course visit our website, scoutthestatline.com, for more.